Week 12 Fantasy Six-Pack Hours here, getting you ready for fantasy baseball action with waiver wire ads and drops, the rankings, risers and fallers, and our buy low, sell high targets. We'll be right back.
The Fantasy Six-Pack Hour.
All right. Welcome to the Fantasy Six-Pack Hour. My name is Joe Bond, founder of FantasySixpack.net. Over here, rocking the Orioles Hawaiian shirts and the cool new Baltimore hats, the City Connect hat. AJ Applegarth, what's up, man?
Yeah, what's up?
Over here, Corey Pieper. How's it going?
I don't have any cool new gear. I gotta purchase some new gear just to wear it on the show, whether it be like baseball or football. Maybe I'll get like a Knicks shirt if the Knicks win.
We gotta keep up. We gotta keep up with AJ apparently somehow.
I mean, hey, I've had this shirt for a couple of years,
Yes.
but I did just get the hat when we were at the game a couple weeks ago for being at the game. I don't know.
You didn't pick up any more koozies just cause.
No, I did not. Actually, I'm wrong. I did.
Oh God.
Because so we were in the Salisbury University suite because Heather's on the board. So we got tickets to go up there, and they had koozies there and free beer. So I was like, all right,
of course you did.
Done and done.
I just remember the one time we were in line. We were getting a beer and just standing there waiting to pay. Like the girl was taking a couple of seconds to get everything rung up, and all of a sudden you were like, yeah, and these two. And I'm like, do you have 50 koozies? You're like, yeah. And I'm like,
I've got a lot.
I don't know what to do. All right. But what I do know what to do is get into our waiver wire ads, starting with our Homer pick of the week. Go ahead, Adrian.
All right. So this is a little bit of an outside the box Homer pick, but because you have quite the affinity for this player, Joe, and we've talked about him nearly every week, my air quotes Homer of the week is Matt McLain, Cincinnati second base shortstop. His current roster percentage is at 47. And McLain, as we've talked about, has had a pretty up and down season overall. He's only hitting 209 on the season. He's got a 97 to 24 K to walk ratio, only 10 steals, 8 homers, 28 runs, 25 RBIs. So not the greatest of stats jumping off the page here for someone who, a lot of people were looking at as a later second round or second baseman pickup, possible middle infielder with the dual eligibility, just flexible, but he hasn't lived up to it.
No.
That said, over the last 14, he's got 7 runs, 3 homers, 5 RBIs, 3 steals, and he's hitting a 276 average with a 10 to 6 K to walk. But even better
most
than
of
that
is this week, actually.
Most of it has been this last 7 days where he's hitting 333, OBP of 455, slug of 889 for an OPS of 1.343. He's got
That's pretty good.
Yeah, pretty high. All 3 of those homers came this past 7 games. 5 of the runs, 4 of the RBIs, and all 3 steals too. So McLain is my Homer pick of the week. What say you, Joe? Start with you because you.
So I was ready to drop him in the Earth League, and then Ellie De La Cruz got hurt, and now McLain is starting at shortstop and playing pretty well, honestly, like you've mentioned.
Yeah.
I think he's still going to be up and down, very streaky. The 3 stolen bases all came in one game. I want to say he went like one. I think he went 1 for 5, and he must have stolen 2 bases. One time he got on, and then I think he walked and stole the other base. Like, it was just nuts. 3 home runs. I think he get 2 in one game, 1 in the other. Like, it all came in bunches. I don't really think he's still that good, but I was like, I just held on to him. There wasn't really anybody all that worthwhile picking up in Earth 15-team leagues. So that's tough. But, yeah, I get it. You know, it's a position of need for people. So,
yeah. Corey, what do you think of McLain? Anything to add or move it along?
Not really. I mean, Joe's always been the guy that likes him. I've always kind of been a hater on Matt McLain, and I don't know. You can pick him up and play him right now while he's playing, but when I didn't check, I should look. Like, has Edwin Arroyo done anything since he's been here? Because otherwise, when Ellie gets
he's
back,
not really.
He's not doing anything. Okay, so then maybe Matt McLain just slides back to second base and he still has a spot. But otherwise, I do think we were getting close to rotating Matt McLain in and out. So pick him up, play him for now, especially if you need speed. But I don't know if there's a whole lot there.
I mean, Arroyo's not even playing every day, so they're already basically platooning him. So that's not good.
Yeah, it's like, okay, thanks for the cup of coffee. All right, next up here is Mauricio Dubon with the Braves. He is the ultimate utility guy. He's got second, third, short, and then also outfield eligibility. His current roster percentage is up to 41. So again, kind of right around that borderline that we like to have as our cutoff. But again, you know, his season's been pretty decent. You know, not big in the home run power, but he does have 37 RBIs and 28 runs. He's hitting 261 on the season. He does have a steal that actually just came in the last 14. And then he's got 6 of those runs, half of his homers, 3, and 8 RBIs with a 270 average. But again, cutting that down to even just the last 7, and he's been killing it with 2 of the 3 homers, hitting 381, 458, 714, and a 1.173 OPS. So definitely an awesome slash line for right now, helping you out in your average and OBP leagues. 5 runs, 2 homers, 5 RBIs, and that steal, like I said. And I believe it's a 4-3 K to walk over the last 7. So I picked up Dubon maybe a week and a half ago, just because I needed outfield help. He's definitely someone to keep an eye on. If you need outfield help, if you lost Aaron Judge like I did, you know, if even looking at, did I have him on here last week? I did not. Jake McCarthy was another like hot, you know, simple pickup for a couple of days, but he's day to day now. So there's definitely injuries, and you know, with all that position eligibility, you can put Dubon anywhere.
Yeah, he's hot right now. And now I think he's just got a solidified spot in the outfield now that Acuna's hurt. I don't believe he's played just the outfield like the last couple of weeks here. And so
yeah, that's another one, Acuna.
Yeah, with him hurt. So I think that's kind of where he's going to settle. And they usually bat him like middle of the order, like right behind Matt Olson, typically 5th, 6th area, which is why he has all those RBIs there. So I'm okay with this.
Yeah, I mean he's been very solid. So all right, next up here for the ads, you know, we'll dip into pitcher here. I've got a couple of guys that I listed, but one is over the threshold, so I'll rip through him after this first guy, and that's Peter Lambert. His rostership's only at 25% right now. His last 4 games, he's got 21 2/3 innings, a 3-0 record, but only 1 quality start in those 4 games. So, you know, if you're in a non-wins, you know, quality start league, traditional quality start, then he's not doing you many favors there. If it's a QA3 like we have, then that should be a little better for getting those QA3 starts. Kicking in a 3.32 ERA, 143 WHIP. WHIP's a little high. ERA's decent, relative to the league itself. It seems like pitchers are just getting hit pretty well up this year. The one thing I'm not loving here is his 18 to 11 K to walk in that span. So that gives him a 1.6 ratio. Not great. But over the last 14 days, he does have 13 Ks to only 7 walks. His ERA is a 270. His Sierra is sitting at 4.8, 480, whatever. And he's only given up 5 earned runs across 16 and 2/3. So Lambert's kind of I guess he's more kind of like a matchups guy. But I mean, he's getting you some decent, play, decent stats. And I picked him up in a points league. Now, the other downside is that he did get pulled from his start last night against the Angels. He got hit on the hand by a comebacker. So, it was already in the 7th inning. So, he had 6 1/3 already pitched for the game. 6 Ks and 2 earned runs on 2 solo homers. So, anything to add for Lambert for either of you guys?
I've had Lambert for a while.
Yeah,
Me too.
He's been okay.
Yeah.
I'm not really expecting it to continue all season long, but he's been serviceable for me as like a back end rotation guy. If he's sitting out there on waivers, like I think he's honestly he's more of a streamer type pitcher to me. But
that's kind of what I'm thinking.
I haven't had anybody to like replace him with full time. I haven't found anybody, so it's like, why not? I'll just keep hanging on to him.
If you're going to stream somebody, it's a good bet to stream somebody in the AL West where you get to face the Angels, who are not good.
Yep.
The Athletics and road games are not good. The Rangers were recently no hit. Although they did get Seager back in Wyatt Langford, so that helps. But just like shout out the old guys coming back from Asia, like Peter Lambert's been pretty good. We talked about Foster Griffin earlier in the year. There was like a little lull, but he looks great again. He's kind of settled back in. Anthony Kay is doing some interesting things with the White Sox, like these older guys who go over to Asia and then come back. And I don't know if I trust any of them to keep it up all year, but hey, so far I've got a lot of those guys. Like they've got me some on some of these teams right now. Like, so shout out the old dudes coming back from Asia.
Absolutely. And then the other, honorable mention pitcher I had here, I don't know if you guys had a slide for him or not, but that was Reid Detmers. Again, his percentage is over 50. He's at 57.
Go to the next
my
Joe.
guess is a lot of that because of sorry, Joe. A lot of that's from
Going out of order on me, man.
his start yesterday. Because I had to get my honorable mention. We'll go back anyway. But over his last 4, 26 innings, kind of the opposite of Lambert, where he's only got a 1-0 record, but he has 3 quality starts, only a 1.73 ERA, 0.54 WHIP, and a 36-5 K to walk ratio, which is a 7.2 rate. That is exceptional. So, Detmer's another guy who the wheels could fall off any time, but I'm riding him while he is extremely hot. So if you want to go back to the other slide, my other honorable mention batter, he was on our list last week, and that is Jung-Hoo Lee. Last week, his rostership was only 17%. It has now jumped all the way to 44%, which is, unbelievable, rise because of his last 14 games where he's hitting 14 runs, no homers. You're not getting them out of him anyway. He's only got 3 on the season, 7 RBIs, 3 steals, 3-1 K to walk, and a 564. Yes, you didn't catch a 9er in there, but you caught a .564. So technically, you add the 5 and the 4, you get 9. Anyway, that's a ridiculous average for a 14-game span. And, the last 7, he's only hitting 516, but has a 545 OBS or OBP, sorry. 613 slug and a 1.158. 9 of those 14 runs came in the last 7. 4 of those RBIs. All 3 of the steals were in the last 7. So if you potentially missed the boat on Lee after last week's recommendation, go see if he's available. Again, outfield eligible, and he's hitting snot out of the ball right now. So he's a definite option as an injury fill-in or just an everyday play. Anyways, honestly, all of the Giants have been really coming around now. Chapman's been ridiculous. Yeah. The DH rookie,
Bryce Eldridge
Eldridge has been good.
He's been good. I almost put Eldridge
was good until he got hurt.
Yeah,
so he's been sucking. I think that injury's been kind of lingering for a good week, and they've kind of let him play through it until just recently. So that sucks. But see how
they also have basically the 2 best with Jung Lee and Luis Rise. Like they have the 2 best non-strikeout players in the game right now. Like 90th percentile batting averages and stuff like that. So Jung Lee's an interesting one. AJ, you play in points league. Is it 3 outfielders or 5 outfielders?
Right in the middle, honestly. With the main one I'm in is 4 outfielders, and I've been struggling to get guys because I lost Judge. I picked up Lee a couple of weeks ago. Like I said, I picked up Dubon. I had Spencer Steer from maybe a month ago. I've been playing Casey Schmidt in my outfield because of depth issues. But now I'm kind of, overloaded. I also had Blaze Alexander, who I recommended a couple weeks ago, but he's not an everyday player now. And he's, when he's in, he's doing okay, but it's kind of hard to trust with his playing time. But I had missed the boat on Soderstrom and was able to pick him up. I finally burned my number 2 waiver to get him because he got dropped. So I was like, all right, thanks. I'll take that.
Well, the reason I asked that is I think Jung Lee's probably a better points league player, especially if it doesn't count strikeouts. Like he's awesome in that format. He's not getting a lot of power and speed, but typically those are 3 outfielder leagues and the rotisserie is 5. And that's, I don't know. If it was a 5 outfielder points league, sure. Otherwise, it's just kind of it's just an odd fit for fantasy teams. But yeah, I get putting him on your team.
Since he's been back, since 5/29, which I think is the date I had last week, he has a hit in every game, at least one. On the 2nd of June, he must have came in as a pinch hitter, but he got a hit in his only appearance, and it was an RBI. So, points wise, I'm looking at 8.5, 7, 8, 5, 6, 4.5, 13, 1.5, 3, 3, 12, 6, and 9. Sure. So, that's crazy numbers to track. And we do get dinged on the strikeouts. That's only half a point. So, across that span, I've lost a 1.5 because of 3 strikeouts. I'll deal with that.
So, total random sidebar here. I don't know if my BGE, which is our power company down here, is telling me the future, but I just got a text message saying estimated time of restoration has been updated to 6/11/2026 at 11:45 p.m. Apparently my power's out, and I just don't know it.
Well, you look great. I hear you just fine.
This is amazing.
Well done. Well done.
So if my power actually does go out and I just poof disappear, you'll know why.
Yeah. We can handle it. We've done it before. And
those are the highest rated shows.
Yep, exactly. So, all right, let's move it into the bad side of the world here and our Week 12 waiver wire drops. Let's start off with Ryan Nelson Corey,
Oh
I'll
I'll let you rifle off your real one. I don't have a slide for it because I don't know how to make a slide.
All right.
So have your fun.
Yeah, there really isn't. Okay, so as you've heard and listened over the course of these 12 weeks, my basis of the rage drop is typically from that points league, and it's nearly always been pitchers because of their propensity to get blown up and get negative points. We've had a meeting of the minds, if you will, on the brain trust here that is the Fantasy Six Pack Hour, because not as many people probably play in points leagues, whatever. But that league's kind of it's kind of its own thing. So that said, that is where the rage drop became what it is today, and it's all its glory. And my rage drops of this week are basically the Milwaukee bullpen. Sorry, Corey, but facts are facts. Started off with Trevor Megill, who we talked about last week. I think over Soto might have been it, because Soto should have been my rage drop last week. I ultimately did drop him for Megill, and Megill immediately was unavailable to pitch. So he has not pitched. I take that back. He pitched yesterday, but I did not have him at that point. And meanwhile, I've had Chad Patrick, who has been a really nice, addition. He's been playing. He's been real steady. He's not really starting the games, but he's come in a couple of times and mop up duty and gotten 4 innings back on June 3rd. Only gave up 3 hits and 2 walks with 4 Ks. That was an 11-pointer there. He's been getting some wins. He's been getting some saves. He's been getting holds. He's just been very solid and a real nice add. Until the other day, which was yesterday, where he went for a sweet -13 after picking up a save on Monday in the extra inning game. The -13 is no bueno. Gave up 3 runs on 3 hits, 3 earned runs. Sorry. No innings pitched, no outs. Blew the save, took the loss. ERA and WHIP of infinity. Thanks, bruh. And -13. So he was
kind of love the infinity
primed for the rage drop. But I actually still have him on my roster, which was a surprise to me when I looked at it today. Like, what the hell am I even doing here? But it was because I picked up Detmers and Lambert to start, and I threw them in my reliever spot. So I really don't even have a reliever right now. Aside from Patrick, hopefully he rebounds and cleans up that mess. Also have Helsley in the wings waiting to clear the IL. So, but yes,
can we
let
just
us
talk
move
about real
to
quick, because you mentioned the Brewers and the fact that they played the Athletics, who are playing this week.
So
Corey pointed this out to me Sunday night or Monday or something like that, and because I was like, should I pitch Springs or Cage Jump or this guy or that guy? And he's like, well, I'm definitely not pitching Springs. They're playing in that Vegas ballpark. And I'm like, what? I had no idea that this was happening. I just no clue.
Just looking at guys.
Very first game, 15-14. What in the hell is happening? There was 8 home runs in the game.
That game was absurd, and that's the one that Patrick came in and got the save.
Oh yeah, and the save, yeah.
So
his bad game was last night. He gave up first pitch 450-foot home run to Carlos Cortez. Then what easily could have been another home run, and then I don't remember who hit the 3rd home run, but
I'm sorry.
The Brewers this week
there was 11 home runs in the game 1.
Yeah.
Sorry,
11
home runs.
Did you guys watch any of that? Obviously, I watched them all. Did you guys watch any of those games?
I was watching it on GameCast a little bit.
Okay, so the park is big. It's bigger than many major league stadiums, but it's 1,200 feet above sea level. So it's not Denver, but it's halfway up there. And then it's the wind blows 30 miles an hour and it's humid. So I forget I would give somebody the credit if I remember the exact stat, but William Contreras in the first game hit a home run where he went down to a knee and it looked like a pop-up. And they said based off of launch angle and exit velocity, it went like 37 feet further than any ball ever in the StatCast era hit like that. Because the ball just carries forever. It was some of those balls, like I thought they were pop-ups. You'd be like, "What? There's a home run." It was just crazy watching the games out there. They're playing another 3 against Colorado starting. It must be tomorrow. Yeah, I don't think they play today, so it must be tomorrow.
I'm terrified.
No.
I'm using Gauge Jump.
They're playing Philly.
No, the Athletics. Yeah, the Brewers are going.
The Athletics.
But yes,
sorry.
the Athletics are playing another series out there against Colorado at Vegas here.
Yeah.
Hunter Goodman is going to hit 10 home runs.
It's just a wild park, man.
That's not good because I'm playing against him.
Good luck. I finally had to drop him in Sabotage. He's been so good for me all year. And Hunter Goodman has just been on a tear for the last
that game
3 weeks. And I'm like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. You apparently are not going to suck the rest of the season. So I'm out. Yeah.
Milwaukee came back in the 9th to tie it. Then they got 4 runs in the top of the 10th, but gave up 4 runs in the bottom half. I think it was Ashby gave up 3 of them. But yeah, like that game was like going, and I'm like, okay, let's go, Miguel, and then he just day to day can't come in. I'm
it's
like,
a home run derby. That's crazy.
Yeah,
and go figure. Of all teams, right? Of all pitchers that are going to figure out how to like reduce runs in this ballpark, is Brent Sproat. Like this dude has like a 6.5 ERA on the season, and he's gonna go 6, 1 earned, 4 hits on the day. Like, make it make sense. It doesn't.
Yeah. Nope. Exactly.
Anyway,
so
all right, let's go to the other range drop, which is a little nomination from Corey, I believe.
Corey, yes, Mr. Ryne Nelson also pitched yesterday, I believe, and did not fare so well.
So I've been like
very worthy of the rage drop.
I already did this in some leagues where dropped him. I've been like a staunch Ryne Nelson defender because I looked at the game logs and I'm like, okay, well, he had 1 start earlier in the year where it was like 1/3 of an inning, 8 earned runs. And I'm like, okay, well, that's his stat line's going to look terrible all season, right? He has no way to get that back. And then the next game, they went to Mexico City, which is also a like known hitter's park, excuse me. So if you were dumb enough to play him in that, that's your own fault. I sat him in that game. He went out and he gave up 6 earned runs in that game. So suddenly his ERA was at 7. But since then, like the last 6 starts, he had an ERA of 2.89 over 6 starts, only to get up the Miami. That includes like a start against the Dodgers in there. There was Colorado on the road game in there. Like he was doing well against some tough teams. And then we get Miami last night, who isn't terrible, but I did not expect 7 earned runs in 4 innings against him. So it feels a lot like Jose Soriano did last year, where you just get these stretches of good and then blow up, and stretches of good and blow up. Just don't want to, I'm done. I'm no longer defending you, Ryne Nelson. We're done together, man.
So what did take a guess on that 0.1, third of an inning game? What his score was in that points league?
Ooh,
in the points league,
negative 45.
No, not that terrible.
Negative 22.
Oh, right. You're close. Negative 26.
All right.
The 1 out, 8 hits, 8 earned, a walk, 1K, the loss.
Hey, he did optimize. If you're going to get 1 out, you might as well make it a strikeout. Like, you're going to get something productive, you might as well get it
super efficient with that out.
100% K rate in that game.
Yep, exactly. Amazing.
Awesome. All right. Let's keep it going here.
Yeah. All right, this one's kind of more of a I don't know. I mean, his rostership, I think, is still around 40-ish%. It's definitely dropped more recently, and that's
low.
I was too when I looked it up. Chase DeLauter, we've talked about him a bunch on this show. I'm sorry, it's at 56 right now. I must have been looking at one of the odds. On the season, 24 runs, 7 homers, 34 ribbies, 2 steals, 254 average. Yeah, okay. Not bad. Not great, but not bad. And 36 to 27K to walk. But over the last 14, he's given you 3 runs, no homers, 3 RBIs, no steals, a 227 average with a 12-2 K to walk. I mean, that's super pedestrian. That average is brutal. If that was coming up, maybe he would, see some of these better counting stats, but he's not even getting on base, so he can't steal bases. He's not knocking guys in because he's not getting hits. So yeah, I'm over DeLauter. I'm moving
Dude, he got off on that complete monster of a start. 4 of his home runs in the first 3 games, then sort of sprinkled in a couple more. Has not homered since May 17th. So, yeah, I mean, I sort of get it. I mean, it seems like people have kind of figured him out. I think he's a good enough hitter. He'll come back and figure it out. That's how this works, right? Especially with young guys, right? They pitchers kind of get the book on you, and then you got to figure out how to change up and kind of hit the pitches that they're throwing at you that they know you can't hit right now. That seems like what's happening with him, and so I think he'll figure it out. But yeah, I mean, I get the drop. I don't know if he's definitely not a must hold for me, except like super deep leagues.
Yeah, that's the only place I'm really looking at wanting to hang on to him. But he's riding the pine until he starts turning around for sure.
Yeah.
All right, and I think he's getting platooned against lefties too now. I think they sat him the most recent couple against lefties too, so that
hurts.
Further reason to drop him. Yes, I'm fine dropping him.
Yep.
Yeah. And then the last guy I got on here, this is my quote unquote homer drop of the week. And that's Trea Turner. I mean, the guy had won the batting title last year, and he's back to a couple of years ago when he needed a freaking standing ovation to, figure out how to play in Philly. So yeah, it's not been good. Only 7 homers on the season. You're not getting a ton out of him anyways, but he's definitely, 20 homer capable. Still has 41 runs. That's not bad. 21 RBIs for someone who's been hitting out of the leadoff spot most of the year isn't the worst thing in the world. But, again, not getting on base with a 225 average. And, he does have 14 steals, but only 3 of them came in the last 14. So just not, he's 98% rostered. So most people aren't dropping him. Again, it's more of a wait and see hold. But I wouldn't necessarly blame you if you did, especially in a more shallow league,
Yeah.
Until he starts.
Projections have him hitting 10 to 11 more home runs, stealing anywhere between like 14 to 15 steals. Rest of the season they have him batting 279, which seems kind of weird considering his expected batting average is only 239. So like, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know where that's coming from. But, I mean, look, if he does that, you're looking at almost a 20-30 season. Not bad. Batting
which is decent.
Is brutal.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like, man, like we get these cold stretches from Trea Turner. We've had him before, and then he just he becomes like the best player in baseball all of a sudden. It's like, holy crap, okay. So
yeah, I mean, his defense.
I mean, he can turn it on like he could turn on like a light
suspect
with him, man.
Yeah, and he's he has been bumped out of the leadoff, and they've put Schwarber back in leadoff, who he's also kind of struggling this year. Aside from massive homer numbers, his average sucks too. So
a lot of people's average suck this year. I don't know what's going on.
That's what I mean.
This is he's just like this year's version of Brian. I'd rather lose the entire year with Trea Turner on my team than drop him and have someone else like Joe pick him up and beat me. Like,
yeah,
I just would never drop Trea Turner. And yeah, he sucks, but I'll make do.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't think I'm necessarily dropping him, but I'm not happy with what he's doing.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So that does it for our waiver wire info, ads, and drops for this season of week 12.
All right, so I'm gonna switch back to this view for a minute because I don't have a slide for it. A little bit of news from us, announcement, and then we're going to have some fun based off of this news. This is going to be our last baseball show of the season for the Fantasy Six Pack Hour, the three of us. Corey and I will still continue to do the First Cup Fantasy Baseball pod that goes out every weekday morning around 9-ish. A little earlier on Corey's days. Mine's usually around 9:15. That's the earliest I can get to it. But with that being said, we're going to look at some FanDuel odds for winning the leagues, AL and NL winners, and then our World Series odds, and kind of make some predictions. So let's start out here. Maybe I'll just do, you know what? Let's do this. Does this work? Can we do a screen share? Zoom in. Maybe I'll zoom in a little bit on this. Does that work?
Yep.
Can anybody see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
No, is that still really too small? I have no idea. What is this? That's it. Go away.
Good enough. I don't know.
You're fine. I can see it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. So American League winners right now, we've got Yankees at plus 195, Seattle at plus 360, the Rays at plus 750, Rangers at plus 950, Guardians at 1,000, Blue Jays at 1,200, and then it goes way down from there. I'm actually really surprised to see the Orioles next on that list. But anyway, White Sox, who are leading the division right now, are at plus 2,700. Shocker there, man.
Solid.
Anybody like who? I'll be honest with you. Like, I guess I would say
Yankees at the top.
I think I unfortunately picked the Yankees like to start the year, and I was like, "Yeah, it's boring," but like, I mean, they were good.
Mm-hmm.
So like, but I do remember saying like, just you watch the Rays are going to randomly like figure out how to do it, like at least win the division, right? And that's they're not. I don't know if they're still up there anymore, but they were. I know they've kind of struggled a little bit recently, but anyway, where are you guys going with this bet? Like, where would you throw your money?
The actual money like is probably the Yankees, obviously plus 195, but it's not a good payout. If I wanted to try to make some money off of this,
I mean, you're still making money off of it.
I know, yeah, like some actual decent money. It's probably Texas actually. Like I just said, Texas had recently no hit, but I actually kind of like they just got Corey Seager back. He hit a home run. They got Wyatt Langford back. He's been okay since they returned, so their offense is getting a little bit better recently. And then I still think they have like this most volatile starting pitching staff in baseball, but if you get them all to pitch good for like a 1 month stretch, right? You can roll a Jacob deGrom, Nathan Eovaldi, Mackenzie Gore top three in a series. Like that's actually pretty good, but they're very hit or miss. And then even Jack Leiter and Kumar Rocker have the same type of thing going on. So I don't know. I kind of like Texas.
Yeah, I don't mind
Seattle.
that one.
I think Seattle is going to be tough to beat in that division, though, man. Like I'm watching them play the Orioles, and if their pitchers can just get right, they're going to be really, really hard to beat. Their pitching has been up and down all year.
And I mean, again, we talk about like rage dropping closers all the time. I do. Munoz has been added and dropped, a handful of times in that points league. I've thought about grabbing him, but I don't know. I mean, I just hate the relief pitcher position this year. It's just such a turd.
Always sucks, but yeah,
it's true. It does, but
6 teams in the American League at or above 500. That's not very good.
Yeah,
that's
not.
No, it's definitely not. I would say if Judge can come back and Judge can get right, the Yankees are going to do it. Unfortunately, I don't like saying that, but I do think that's going to be
Tampa's still on top, though.
Did we get an update from the Yankees about Max Fried? Like, that was not supposed to be very long, and we're still nothing on Max Fried, right? Unless I missed something.
Good call. I don't know.
That's the one where if they had him back to go along with it, I'd feel really good about it, but it was only supposed to be a really short-term injury, and I have not heard a thing about Max Fried in a long time. So
Tampa is 40-25.
So Max Fried on June 3rd has been cleared to ramp up throwing progression. And then June 10th, so just yesterday, Aaron Boone said Max Fried with the elbow injury would have new imaging on his elbow later in the week. I don't know if that's just to like follow up and make sure things are going well. They don't say, but that's not good. I mean, it's supposed to be a left elbow bone bruise. This feels like a lot worse than a
those
bone
can
bruise.
linger. Those can linger though. Like that's his pitching elbow. You don't love anything to the pitching elbow. Not that they have the best record in the American League and he's missed a big chunk of time anyways, but like I would love to have Max Fried to go along with Cam Schlittler and Carlos Rodon, and maybe Garrett Cole finally figures out how to get some strikeouts again. But yeah, and we've already seen that their closing situation can be fickle. David Bednar was bad earlier in the year for a big chunk of time. So the Yankees are the best team, but there are warts in the Yankees. I would not be surprised if someone else beat them, is my statement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Over here to the National League. The National League winner, we got the Dodgers at -105. That's ridiculous, by the way. The Braves at 440, the Brewers at 650, Phillies at 800, Cubs at 1700, Padres at 2500. I think we can kind of forget everybody else past that. Pirates are a good story.
Yeah.
But no, sorry.
Yeah. Mets,
nobody else.
I mean, the only interesting one lower down would potentially be somebody from the NL Central. You know, like you said, Pittsburgh's kind of a bleh. Cardinals and Cincy, I don't think that they're going to maintain. But the Cubs already being at plus 1,700, I mean, that's a pretty nice number. They've been terrible, though, lately.
Am I going to just finally had a good outing again? It's been a while. We've needed that. But, I mean, Yankees-Dodgers was my, boring-ass World Series pick to start the year. I'm gonna keep with it, but I do like the Braves if Acuna comes back, and I bet those odds went way up now that Acuna went out. I have no idea what they were yesterday, but I bet those jumped up when Acuna got hurt again.
Yeah,
because when he's out, they are not the same team. Their offense struggles without him, which is weird because they have so many good players.
It's crazy. I mean, they're still 8 games ahead of Philly in the division, and that's Philly's had a horrific start, but they've been awesome since Mattingly took over, and they're still freaking 8 games behind them. And it's like, I think they've won every series except at least 1, maybe 2. I mean, you're winning all these games, and Atlanta's just doing the same damn thing. It's like, what the hell? So it's hard to bet against them right now. Like I said, I agree though. It depends on Acuna.
I need to know how San Diego is 3 games above 500 with the worst offense in baseball. Like, somebody just teach it to me like I'm 5. I don't get how are they? I thought they were like 3-4 games under 500. I guess maybe I haven't been paying attention. They literally have the worst WRC plus in baseball. Behind, like, Colorado has been better than them on offense.
And their last 10, they're 3-7. So they somehow were way under 500 and then somehow got back above it. They have a negative 15 differential in runs.
Is it just the fact that if you get to like the 7th inning and you have the lead, they are dead last in average, on base percentage, on base plus slugging, runs scored? Dead last in all of those. Is it just the fact that if you get to the 7th inning with a lead, you just know, okay, we're going to roll Jason Adam and Mason Miller and we're going to win this game, I guess? Whereas every other team has terrible closers. They have this awesome bullpen, and
probably.
I guess that's it, because otherwise I did not realize that they were playing that well. If I had to put money on it,
is it playing well though?
Winning games, I guess. I don't know. Like,
they're winning. I mean,
for the season, yes, 3-7 recently is not good. By the way, Fernando Tatis, 2nd home run. Shout out Fernando Tatis. That a boy.
Yeah.
Walk off, by the way.
About time.
Walk off, first row. If I actually had to put money on somebody, It's really hard to pick beyond one of the top 4 teams.
It really is.
Those teams are, I feel like, pretty clearly the best teams in the league, in the National League right now.
Yeah. I mean, I'll obviously take that plus 800 with Philly, but
like that could switch, right? So like AJ mentioned, the Brewers and Phillies face each other this week. Like if Philly comes, I don't know, is it in Milwaukee? I think it's in Milwaukee. Like
it's in Milwaukee, yeah.
Came in, won 3 of those. They probably moved to 650. The Brewers fall to 800, right? Vice versa. Like so that's when you're that close, that's how little can change it. But I think those are clearly the best 4 teams, partially because we talked about it last week or a couple weeks ago. They all have like rock solid. The Dodgers have Yamamoto and Ohtani if his knee is okay. The Braves have Chris Sale. The Brewers have Mizorowski. Philly's got Chris Sanchez, right? Like, and Wheeler and Jesus Luzardo, and the Brewers have Kyle Harrison. So like they have really good pitching, whereas the Cubs have had so many injuries that it's really, like you mentioned, Shota Imanaga had a nice start yesterday. They thought they were getting Matthew Boyd back. Apparently he got re-injured already. Didn't even pitch yet for him. So they're back to Javier Assad. Like they just don't have the pitching. The one that could be, if Ellie De La Cruz comes back and Hunter Green comes back, there is still a chance for the Reds, but it's too big ifs. It's still too big ifs.
And I just don't know if that's enough.
They're 9.5 back in last place in the division. They are now the only team in the division under 500, which a week or two ago, every team was still above 500. Like that division is so close.
Nationals above 500. No mention of the Nationals. Joe, that's your team? You're betting the Nationals? 35 and 34.
I'm an Orioles fan.
Yeah,
I'm literally wearing an Orioles shirt.
I've given it to you as your team because the rest we talked about the other guys. So you get to convince me why the Nationals are the pick, Joe.
Just power went out.
Right there.
Nothing.
Cut it off.
Radio silence.
Do they still lead in runs scored?
No.
Yeah, they do. 372. Yeah, they do.
Do they really? Did they
take
it back?
7 ahead of the Dodgers.
Yeah,
they lost it a while ago, and then they must have come back. Damn, man, it is something, man. It's still no. I don't think the pitching's not good enough.
The pitching's not good enough.
For me, it's Dodgers, and then I mean, honestly, I would put a little money on the Braves. I do think that would be an interesting other. I think that's the second one that I would go for sure. I like the Braves. Acuna just has to stay healthy, period. But all right, let's move on here. Back to the action. Didn't get rid of that slide, apparently. All right. Rest of the season ranks risers and fallers. I'll cut right to the chase here with these. Starting off, I mentioned him earlier, Hunter Goodman. Been absolutely just crushing it lately. I had no idea that he is up to 18 home runs on the year already. Like, just that's nuts. 8 of them coming in the last month, 6 of them coming in the last 2 weeks. Batting average up to 249 on the year, thanks to batting 300 the last 2 weeks, 313 this week. Everything going in the right direction. Now looking once again like one of the best catchers in the league. Oh, by the way, he's added 5 steals from a catcher position. So there you go. Just to add to that. Pete Alonso, who homered again today, by the way. So he is now up to 15 home runs on the year. But on the stats that I had before tonight's game, looking like he's turning it back around. Only batting 242 on the whole year. I wrote down 249 for some weird reason, but it's 242. But over the last, this is not. Oh, because I didn't switch the slide like an idiot. Pete Alonso, there we go.
Like, what do you know?
Because I switched it on my notes, but I didn't switch it over here. Yeah,
slide.
This is why we had Mike LaPlante. Pete Alonso, 242 on the year, up to 15 home runs. So 5 home runs in the last 14. I don't know what the batting average would be. I don't have today's stats officially in front of me, and I don't have them accumulated. But he is trending in the right direction for sure. The batting average has been climbing. Actually, over the last month, batting average 290 before tonight's game. I'm assuming that got better. So, Pete Alonso kind of came out of the gates pretty slow. But it's really gotten in the groove here with the Orioles. So that's good to see. Next up, we've got Jeremy Pena. Obviously, was dealing with the injuries early on. So the overall stat line on the year does not look fantastic, but if the amount of games he's played, it's actually pretty good. Over the last 14 specifically is what I'm interested in. And he's starting to kind of, get into things here. 2 home runs, 3 steals, 12 runs, 7 RBI, and a 349 batting average. Just does a very solid shortstop. Guy who I think kind of goes under the radar in a lot of leagues, and especially did this year because of the injuries, but to start the year. But kind of somebody I've always, enjoyed having in fantasy. He just does a little bit of everything and always hit for a pretty decent average. Now it's even better. So there you go. Over here, Miguel Vargas, the White Sox, again, just surprising everybody this year. And even without Murakami, still getting the wins, still figuring it out. Vargas had, was solid last year, but I don't think anybody really believed in anybody from the White Sox, right? Like they were all going super late in drafts, most of them undrafted. And Vargas was just one of those guys where it was like, he was okay last year. Yeah, 16 home runs on the year, 9 steals, batting 243 over the last couple of weeks. 4 of those home runs, 1 steal, a 277 batting average. Just getting it done, man, across the board. 10 runs and 12 RBI in that span, too. Miguel Vargas is a legit, solidified fantasy star at this point.
Yeah.
That's legit.
Dual eligible, too.
Yeah,
as
third baseman as well.
Waiver wire pickup. He's got to be one of the best waiver wire pickups of the season, hands down.
Was he not drafted?
In some of my leagues, he wasn't drafted.
We're taking Miguel Vargas at this point over Manny Machado, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It hurts to do it, but yeah.
I think so. You're taking Miguel Vargas or... Oh, we're taking him over Alex Bregman and Eugenio Suarez. Austin Riley, who I traded last week, you're trading Miguel Vargas over them, right?
Mm-hmm.
What about... Okay, let's go real high here. We're taking Miguel Vargas or we're taking Jazz?
Riley might be questionable.
That one's tough, man. I don't like Jazz too much, but
take with Jazz, but I don't like him either.
I think you're basically trading the power for the speed, and Jazz can catch up in the power department. He can, but the speed for Jazz is going to be a lot. Like he can keep getting on base, and he's been playing better lately too. So I think I would go back to Jazz for sure.
No matter what, though, we're talking clear lock.
Yeah, no, he's
10,
way up
top
there.
10 third baseman and borderline top 5. So yeah, that was the point of that.
I'm kind of shocked. Garcia. Oh no, that's Megill. Yeah. I'm looking at the wrong player there. Vargas. What was his? Geez, yeah, his ADP was hovering around 289. Wow. Yeah, just nobody bought into last year's, sort of. It wasn't a great season, but it was okay. He was picked up in a lot of leagues. I remember that.
What was his average? I feel like his average was really low.
234. It's only 243 now.
Yeah.
It's better the last couple of weeks, but he finished with 16 home runs and 6 steals in 138 games. So it wasn't crazy, but I kind of remember there being he sort of came on strong at the end of the year. Right?
Yeah,
for some reason that's in the back of my mind right now, but he's playing really, really well right now. So a definite riser up the boards, and probably will continue to do so until he falls off. He can only go so far, obviously, but he's playing well right now. Going over to the first pitcher riser that I'm going to highlight here, and it is Bryce Miller, probably the one Seattle Mariner pitcher that you could just lock in on right now. Gilbert, ups and downs, Kirby kind of ups and downs. You're still throwing those guys out there. I think AJ clearly doesn't want to throw out Castillo, but Bryce Miller, like it was a weird one because when he came back, like they were like piggybacking and like flipping him and Castillo at first, and it was like, well, who's gonna do what? And Miller has just been like, screw this, like I'm better, and just has been destroying.
He has
been. So it's like he's over the last 2 games, 0 earned runs. 15 strikeouts in 11 innings, just 3 walks over the course of the year so far. 29 Ks and 27 innings, just 4 total earned runs. I mean, this is like the best Bryce Miller we've ever gotten. So this is pretty damn good.
Since I dropped Castillo, he's gotten 17 points, 1 point, 14, 18, 17.
He's been better for. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Last riser here. I'm going to highlight Logan Webb. After a really rough start to the year, honestly, has really come around these last 3 starts. 19 and a third innings, 2 earned runs, 16 strikeouts, just 4 walks, a .93 ERA. The Sierra sitting at 3.26 in that span. Like the ERA on the year is now at 3.88. The Sierra is at 3.56. So you kind of know this is real, right? That's what I like to see with the Sierra numbers. You don't want to see like a 2.5 ERA and then like a 5 Sierra. You're like, when's that gonna come? Because you don't want to see that. The one thing with Logan Webb, which is kind of weird, is like the strikeouts just aren't really coming in the bunches like we're used to with him. So, but hey, I think you'll give up a couple of strikeouts here and there if he can pitch like he has been, and he's really come on strong here. Any thoughts on any of those guys? Anybody?
I mean, I've got Webb in the F6P series. I was afraid to throw him in when he came back from the injury, but I think I ultimately did, and paid off big. So he's basically back to being a must start right now for me.
Yeah.
Nothing. You're good.
All right. Over here to the fallers, and I hate to say it, but Ketel Marte, that was a nice short-lived little spurt of good baseball that you were playing there, because you suck again. Ketel Marte, last 14 down to 114 batting average, just the 2 home runs, and I believe those were like the early end of the last 2 weeks. Just nothing to show for it. Batting average down to 248 again on the year. He had it all the way up to like almost 280. He was on such a hot streak. He raised his batting average from like 210 all the way up to like 280. It was crazy. And I'm like, all right, this is Ketel Marte. He's back. Nope. Goodbye.
It was like a hamstring. He's got like an injury thing going on, like a back and a hamstring or something. So,
yeah, that's not good to hear. And yeah, that's right. I did forget about that. So, and Marte, somebody you're not dropping. You probably don't have anybody else to throw in his place in the meantime, but he is tough to start right now. It's just kind of how it goes with, when you draft these guys super early like this and they just don't pan out. Kyle Tucker, another one of these guys. We've mentioned him before. I've at least brought him up on the First Cup Fantasy Baseball podcast a couple of times. Just not good this year. Like, this guy got paid a boatload of money. God, does anybody remember how good he was? Like 2 seasons ago before he got hurt, and it was like this phantom, like it was like this, oh, he'll be fine, and then missed the rest of the year. Just Houston was like, oh yeah, by the way, it was like a broken something or other that like ended up being
hand, wasn't it? Or
no,
that might have been.
It was
Alvarez.
It was Jordan Alvarez's hand. It was Kyle Tucker's shin. Kyle Tucker fouled the ball off his shin, and they're like, oh, he's fine. He'll be back next week. And then they're like, oh, it might be a little bruised. It might be 2 weeks. And then they're like, oh, we're going to put him on the 60-day injured list. And then he never played the rest of the season. And they're like, oh, actually, it broke it. Oh, it was a small hairline fracture in there.
78 games. He had 23 home runs and 11 steals that year. Dude, I mean, even last year, like 136 games, 22 home runs, 25 steals. I mean, yeah, nothing like he was on pace for the year before. But this year, I mean, 5 home runs, 4 steals, just a 237 batting average in 64 games. What the hell is going on? And I mean, we're just talking about it before the show. Like the Dodgers, they have so many struggling stars on the team. Mookie Betts, right? Kyle Tucker, guys that are struggling who shouldn't be, and yet they continue to win games because they're just absolutely loaded everywhere. It's sick. So Kyle Tucker is falling far down the rankings. I'm not dropping him yet, but honestly, man, like he's getting close to that. Like I'm gonna give up on you at some point. Like after the All-Star break, if you still suck this bad, you can't start him right now. You literally can't.
No.
Brent Rooker this one's got a little bit of a news to it as well, was falling down the ranking. Now he was playing a little bit better. Some of the home runs were starting to come. 3 home runs in the last 14. Batting average was he was playing better, but still not great, right? But now he's dealing, I think, with knee soreness or something like that. He did not play yesterday, and they didn't play today.
He didn't play the day before either, so he got 1 game in Vegas. Otherwise, he'd have 17 home runs right now. So
right,
he just played the last 2 games.
So yeah, that's something we're gonna have to watch out for. And I mean, look, I said something similar with Aaron Judge, right? If this knee soreness has been something that's been just hanging around with him for a while, this could be like the reason why he's been struggling. Same thing with Judge, right? The rib and the shoulder, right? If he was trying to play through that, of course that's why you're not playing as well. So we'll see if there's an IL stint in the near future for Rooker. Honestly, if there is, if it's not going to be lengthy, I would go out and buy Rooker in a heartbeat, because if he can come back healthy, we know how good this guy could be. And I think he was already a buy low for you at one point, Corey, wasn't he?
We talked about him last week.
Yeah.
Was it last week?
No.
It was a couple
no,
weeks
it was
ago, I think.
Corey was out. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I put him in the week I wasn't here.
Yeah.
So I finally sat him in the Fantasy 6-pack series. I have him there. I'm up in the top 5, 6, something like that. So I'm really high, but I don't know. I still am not giving up hope. I think a lot of it's just injury related. So I'm still willing to buy him.
I mean, at this point, at this point, I mean, I would say it's injury related, but I bet there are a lot of people in other leagues who would not have the patience that you would. We talked about how good the Giants have been, and at least how much better they have been. Devers is not one of them. Now he's, I guess, scored almost every time he's gotten on base recently, at least.
Yeah.
But just the 2 home runs, 5 RBI, batting 200. He started hitting well a couple of weeks ago, and I moved him up the board. You sort of start seeing these guys that you expect to play well again, and then so you're immediately get excited. You shoot him up the rankings board, and you're like, all right, he's back. And then nope, it's the same thing I did with Ketel Marte, right? It's God damn. All right. Yeah. Willie Adamez, unfortunately, was another one who was shooting up the board hard, but now he's dealing with injury stuff, and he's been horrendous for the last week, probably because he's trying to play through an injury. And so maybe we should just stop doing that, people. But yeah, Devers hopefully can get things going. I mean, look, Chapman has looked phenomenal lately, and hopefully he can drink whatever water Rafael Chapman is drinking, and Devers can start playing well. I will go to pitchers here, and Garrett Crochet is almost on my get rid of him. I think you can trade him to anybody for anything at this point list. I don't know if this guy's going to pitch for the rest of the year, and if he does, it might be the last month of the season. I don't know what to do. They have now come out and said, and I think it was Crochet himself came out and said, my oblique injury is worse than I originally said. I would have thought. And he hasn't even started throwing. There's no timeline for this guy. I kept him pretty high up in the rankings just because it was always like, he'll be back soon. And then just nothing. And now this. And I've pulled out the rug. Like, he's gone. Like, I don't want anything to do with this guy. If you can trade him, I probably would.
So I had somebody offer me Garrett Crochet yesterday, 2 days ago, for Parker Messick. Turn that down because Parker Messick's pitching.
Right.
Then he offered me.
Well.
I don't know, the dude. I think he was just spamming like the league because then like an hour later he sent me an offer for Nick Lodolo. And Nick Lodolo, I have a lot of Nick Lodolo. He has not been particularly good at times this season. It's been hurt, but look, I'm very stubborn when it comes to fantasy baseball. I will hold these guys for a while, so I will own that. So I did not trade that. And then I offered him JT Ginn, and he turned that one down. So, like, I don't know. I'm not giving up somebody who I think has any upside. JT Ginn could have some upside, but, like, I hate the park, obviously. Yeah. So I think that's where, like, the Garrett Crochet trades have to settle.
I'm trying to think of where I've got Crochet right now. I'm trying to look it up. So I've got him down here. I'm running like 75th starting pitcher right now. It is behind Lodolo.
Yeah.
It is behind Messick by quite a bit. That's a laughable one. Mm-hmm. He is he ahead of JT Ginn? Yeah. Wait, I can't even get on here. I don't know where he is. Yeah, he's ahead again. So yeah, I get the no, not taking that one. But honestly, man, like I could, if we don't get good news from Crochet soon, like the next couple of weeks soon, I'm dropping him even farther.
I'm out.
There's just nothing, like there's no. Again, I would be looking to get rid of him just like your league mate was.
Yeah. I mean, I don't blame him for trying, but I'm also not a dumb.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to trade my players that are actually perform. Shout out Garrett Crochet when he's healthy. I still think Garrett Crochet is one of the best
absolutely
7 pitchers on the planet now.
Yeah.
It's probably not the top 3 where he was going before the season because Christopher Sanchez has been awesome. Jacob Izrowski looks amazing, right? Like I would take those guys over him even at health because of the way they pitched, but you just don't have like. There's a legitimate chance Garrett Crochet doesn't pitch this season, and it's pretty high at this point.
Yeah, I mentioned this morning on the First Cup Fantasy Baseball pod. I was like, I'm out. I don't want anything to do with him. It just sucks. And last one here, kind of funny that you mentioned him earlier. It is Jose Soriano. Overall in the year, like the numbers, his ERA looks phenomenal, 2.96. This is where like you look at it though, right? And the Sierra's above 4, and you're like, what's doing that, right? 87 Ks in 82 innings. That's awesome. 40 walks. Yeah, that's not good.
What he does.
That's not good. That's why the Sierra is so high. And over the last few starts here, it has bitten him in the ass. Not gonna lie, like he's really gotten hit hard. Over the last 2 weeks, he has a 5.06 ERA. Over the last month, the 5.53 ERA. 26 Ks and 27 and 2/3 inning over the last month. 20 walks. I mean, yeah, I don't like. Soriano's going to probably go on another stretch of games where he's just like incredible. He'll destroy your whip most likely just because he walks a lot of guys, but he will also have another stretch where he's this bad again. And that's just the life of Jose Soriano. So good luck. But he is falling down my rankings. You've just got to know what you're getting from him when you throw him out there. Build your team around his ratios for sure. So, all right. So we've got Corey, close us out here with your risers or your buy low, sell high. Sorry, risers and falls. That was my segment. Sorry.
That's okay. Let's see here. My first one, AJ mentioned him earlier as a waiver wire, and while he may no longer be low enough roster that you can add him off the waiver wire, I do think we should be trying to add Reid Detmers, even now somebody else thinks that they just got him and they're like, oh, well, I'm just going to flip him for, somebody who I think is better. So all of the Angels pitchers, Joe just talked about Jose Soriano being inconsistent. Reid Detmers has been brutally inconsistent at times. We've seen great stretches from Reid Detmers before, and then it usually melts down. But it does seem different this time. So last night, again, a great start. 7 innings, 1 earned, 9 strikeouts, 6 innings, nowhere, and 6 Ks before that. Then before that, 5 innings, 3 earned, 7 Ks, and he had that 14 strikeout game. But then 8 earned runs, 4, 2, 3, 3, 4. So that's still in there. It's not like it's gone. But you look at the other stuff, though, and it's like, okay, so the ERA sits at 4, which is not good. But the FIP sits at 287. That's the lowest it's ever been. His whip, which is typically bad because of walks. I mean, last year it was 130. The year before it was 155. It's 105 right now. That's great because he's limiting his walks. The strikeouts are actually a slight bit down this year, but it doesn't matter. I'll take a few less strikeouts in exchange for lowering your whip like that. And then you just look at those projections. The strikeouts should maintain by those projections. The ERA, okay, maybe it is 4, right? Maybe just because he's a little inconsistent, it settles around 4. But you're talking about a guy there that you take that projection, that's 205 strikeouts. I will take a 4 ERA for a guy who will give me 200 strikeouts. Who
absolutely.
If Reid Detmers goes out, maybe it's hard right now because he's coming off of 2 good starts. But if he goes out in the next game and it's 4 innings, 6 earned runs, I wish I wouldn't be shocked, but I would buy that because there is a lot of pitchers right now. Joe was just talking about some 70 range of pitchers. Nick Lodolo, who's pitched pretty well at times, been back and forth. Emmett Sheehan. I would take Sonny Gray. I would take Reid Detmers' upside over all those guys. I think he has so much more upside than any of that stuff. So if you get a bad Reid Detmers start where the buy window really opens up, that's when you pounce. And maybe it's not right now, but just wait. It'll hit here.
Can I give you somebody that he reminds me of?
Sure.
Dylan Cease.
Yeah, that's a good one too. Yeah,
we buy Dylan Cease as a top
Ks.
12, 15 pitcher every single year, if not higher, right? Because all the strikeouts that he can give. Detmers is now in that territory. We've had Dylan Cease finish with a 4.58 ERA, 4.55 ERA, and a 3.91 ERA one other season when he has gone over 200 Ks. Other seasons were 3.47. Okay, better, not phenomenally better. And then, of course, the one crazy good year, right? 2.20. So, but he's never.
Was that the COVID year? Was that the really short year, or was that a different year?
No, that was a different year.
That was a different. Okay.
Short year, he was a 4.01 ERA.
Yeah.
This year, Cease is better, 2.91 ERA. Over 100 strikeouts in 68 innings. God, this dude's a monster. But yeah, I mean, Detmers kind of can give you the bad Dylan Cease, if that makes sense, which is still very usable in fantasy. So,
AJ, anything on Reid Detmers?
No. I mean, like I said, I kind of mentioned my take on him earlier. I was stoked that he was sitting out there and I picked him up. I mean, the Ks are just insane. 36 over the last 4 games. Absolutely take that. I think one of them might have been a 14 game.
Yeah. Against the Yankees, I think. Against the Yankees.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he can do it, but it's really hard to predict. He's probably someone you just, if you have him, you just put him in your lineup and you just set it and don't even look at it. Cease was like that. Blake Snell is like that.
Yeah.
There's super frustrating starts out of Blake Snell, and at the end of the year, you're like, okay, well, this is pretty good when he's healthy. So,
absolutely.
Okay, next one, Joe.
Yeah, right. There it goes.
He has come up a few times already today because of his finally having a good start yesterday at Coors Field, where Shota Imanaga went 5 innings, struck out 7, gave up a couple hits and a couple walks. It's really the 4 starts before that, right? So the 4 starts before that were just miserable. 10.80 ERA, 10.16 FIP, so it was all perfectly deserved. But he gave up 12 home runs in 4 starts. And yes, it can be hard to pitch at Wrigley Field when the wind is blowing out. I don't believe that suddenly he's giving up. There was a stretch earlier in the season where honestly, he looked like one of the best 10 pitchers in baseball. And again, this is just how it goes, right? You get good stretches and you get bad stretches. At the end of May, he had I went too far, but like at the beginning of May, excuse me, if you went to just the beginning of May, he would have had an ERA of only 2.88 with a 2.96 xERA because he wasn't giving up home runs. And that time, in the first 6 starts of the season, he gave up 3 total home runs. Maybe that's a little low. Maybe it settles in the middle. But again, if you tell me that from this point forward, which that projection's saying, he's a sub 4 ERA guy with nearly 100, but that's, you're at 180 plus strikeouts there. That's really good. He's really good. They're not going to baby him. They're going to pitch him every 5 days. They have no other pitchers. I just talked about all the injuries the Cubs have had a little bit ago. Matthew Boyd is not back to pitch yet. It's basically Shota Imanaga and Ben Brown. The roll the dice on Edward Cabrera, and then it's like Colin Ray, who's their 4th starter right now. So Shota Imanaga is going to be out there unless he gets injured, which you can't predict. And I just think he is not going to be the worst home run pitcher allowed in baseball for big stretches of the season. There might be games like that, but if you can buy him low where someone thinks, okay, well, I got out of this. He gave me a good start here. It was a little fluky. He's going to go back to being this mid-4s ERA guy. I don't think he is. I don't think he's probably a low 2 or a mid-2s ERA like he was earlier in the season, but it settles in the mid-3s from here to the end of the season. And I don't think you have to pay like that right now.
Yeah, Shota's interesting. The ERA does scare me a little bit, but if the other peripherals are there, I mean, I'm not afraid to try to get him.
So interestingly enough, you mentioned the home runs. He did give up slightly more home runs per 9 last year than he is on pace for right now for this year.
Yeah, because he got off to a hot start, right? Like, and then it just had all this regression hit at once. So
yeah,
maybe he's not going to be a good home run pitcher. I don't think he's going to be like someone who doesn't give up a lot. He'll give up home runs, but it doesn't mean that he's going to pitch to a 10 ERA stretch the rest of the season. Like, He can give up home runs and still pitch to a upper 3s, low 4s ERA with his stuff, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Here's the big
Next
one.
up.
Here's the big one. So I was in a group chat, some friends who play fantasy baseball in a league together, and the one guy's like, "Why do I even draft Ronald Acuna?" Who had him on his team? And he's like, "Why do I even draft him? He's not good." And I'm like, "Yeah, I will do whatever you want to give me, Land. Like, you can pretty much pick your take of these 4 players. You tell me which one you want, and I will take Ronald Acuna off your hands because he's still really good. I don't really know what to say here. Yes, it has been frustrating. The injuries are annoying. He just left the game, was it 2 nights ago, last night, with a hamstring injury, and he's back on the 10-day IL. This is the second time this season that he has gone on the injured list with a hamstring injury. But his point was, well, he hasn't been good since 2023, right? That was the MVP season, the year where he did like literally things that have never been seen before. I don't know, it was like 40 home runs and 70 steals or something like that. And his thing was, well, he hasn't been good since then. Well, I just said, okay, well, he had a 165, 2024, he tears the ACL, right? So he plays half the game, comes back last season. In 95 games this year, he had a 165 OPS plus, which just means he has 21 home runs with 9 steals with a 290 average in 95 games. That's awesome. The home runs were a little depressed this season, but 7 home runs, 22 RBIs, 15 steals with 251's a little low for him, but still a 125 WRC plus with a projection of a 142 the rest of the way. That's still a projection there for 20 homers and 30 steals. I would still take Ronald Acuna over about all but 10 to 15-ish outfielders right now. And so if I can send someone who's been pretty hot, like Jake Bauer's been pretty good for the Brewers, I'll take Ronald Acuna 20 times out of 20, right? Dalen Lyle, AJ mentioned him last week, right? Dalen Lyle, right? Like, I think he's on about a 20-20 pace. Send him for Ronald Acuna. See if someone's really that desperate. Brandon Marsh is leading the league in batting average. I don't care. I'll take Ronald Acuna over Brandon Marsh. See how desperate you can actually get someone to go, and then just work your way up from there. Because, I mean, I can work my way.
Those would be crazy trades.
Start with that.
But, yeah.
And then, I don't like Riley Green. I'm still taking Ronald Acuna over Riley Green. We doing that?
Where do you think Acuna goes next year, like in drafts, now that he's had another injury-plagued year? Assuming he misses another, couple of weeks with his hamstring injury, maybe gets hurt again. doesn't quite have the amazing stat line like we all sort of expect. It's good, but not awesome. Where do you think he goes next year? Because he was still going top 10 this year?
Yeah, it was in the first round. He might fall the second round, but I don't think he gets to like. I would still take Ronald Acuna over. Oh, I was trying to think of somebody who's been good. Like, okay, Ronald Acuna or Jordan Walker next year. Jordan Walker's been amazing.
I'm still taking Acuna there. That's god.
Ronald Acuna or Jackson Chourio. Chourio's been great since he's been back.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
I think that's right around where it probably fits for him at this point.
It's like a second round player, right?
Yeah. Second, third.
Yeah. So if I can trade, PCA, Peter Armstrong, been great recently. He's been awesome recently.
Yeah, he's
shout out
up.
PCA. We have not talked about him as much this year. That was the official spokesman of the show last year because we talked about him so much. He has been awesome for about the last month as far as it's concerned, but I'm still trading PCA right now if I can get Ronald Acuna back. Maybe that's like a hot take. I don't care. Like I will take Ronald Acuna over these guys. And if he misses time, so be it. But when he plays, I think he's a better player than these guys. And are you concerned about his injury like you are Crochet's?
No.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think the problem with Acuna is that there's just so many of these injuries now. Like they just keep happening. And it's like, irritating. what do you like? He's got to figure out how to. It feels like Mike Trout, man. It's like, dude, can you just stay healthy and just be awesome? Because you're so good.
Here's a good one for next year. Who also just recently got hurt: Ronald Acuna or Joe's guy O'Neal Cruz, who's been also legitimately awesome this season. Shout out O'Neal Cruz. I think we've all had him as
about damn time.
Yeah,
dude, I had him rising in my rankings. I had it set, and then boom, he goes on the IL, and I'm like, crap. I logged back into the computer and changed it because it happened as right after I turned off the computer. So
64 games before he got 14 home runs, 44 RBIs, 21 steals, 264 for O'Neal Cruz.
I think the thing that still scares me with Cruz is that strikeout rate, man.
Yeah. So
and that's why I would still go with Acuna, just because guys that strike out at the clip he's striking out at 34% this year. It's actually worse than last year. How is he better?
96 mile an hour average exit velocity is something else.
377 BABIP. I know. He's just murdering the ball every time he hits it. That's how he's getting on base. I don't buy the consistency from O'Neal Cruz to where I think Acuna, at least the consistency is there, and the superstar level is in him still. So that's a good one though. I like that one. All right, let's move on to your sell highs.
So this is kind of like the next guy here that we have up on the screen is Zach Geloff. To me, Matt McLain and Zach Geloff are like the Spider-Man meme, and I just don't like either one of them. And so that's why we are selling them when they do anything here. Zach Geloff, 27 runs scored, 8 home runs, 6 stolen bases, hitting 266 on the season, 112 WRC plus there. The projections clearly show him slowing down. That would still be, you're at 18 home runs and 15 steals, but the batting average falls off. It thinks he's a below average player from this point to the end of the season. He took advantage of Vegas Park there and had multiple home runs. I think he was, I don't remember if he was one that hit one against Chad Patrick, but he had multiple home runs in that series. Again, the strikeout rate is better. That's better because last year his strikeout rate was 45%, which is unplayable. 25% is fine. I don't know if I believe him to be a 25% strikeout rate guy. He is now playing every day. It is not that he is suddenly impacting the ball way better. His expected batting average is still 219. He's not really hitting the ball that hard. Maybe he can take advantage of Sacramento/Vegas Park there as they go there and hit some home runs out of there. But I don't know. I just don't see Zach Geloff actually being that interesting to me. I think there's a lot of – we talked about second base last week. I think there's more second basemen that show interesting skills. I just think Zach Geloff's kind of a middling power, middling speed, and the batting average is going to fall off. So if you can sell Zach Geloff for anybody, I'm doing that.
Yeah, he did not hit the homer off of Patrick.
Not him. Okay.
No. Patrick gave up 2 in yesterday's game.
I remember the first one was to Carlos Cortez. I don't remember what the second
Cortez and Williams was the second one. Alika Williams.
Alika. Okay. Joe, you got anything on Zach Geloff?
Nah.
Trade him away.
I had him I had him in one of my leagues, and I dropped him when Jackson Holiday came back. I needed a roster spot for somebody else, and I was like, nah,
Yep.
you can go. I'd rather take Jackson Holiday.
I would do that too.
Oh.
This is a fun one here. This is a fun one because I actually kind of like Connerly early, but I am looking to trade Connerly early if I have an opportunity. He's been pretty good. The 3.30 ERA there, it's not bad at all. The 123 WHIP it's a bit high, but it's not out of control. But you can see the FIP is real high, 475. It's not the walks, but in his case, he just gets hit hard, and like I think the home run should be there. He just hasn't given up a ton of them right now, and because of that, that's why his whip runs pretty high. So officially, 11.5% barrel rate, 43% hard hit rate. That's not good. He's given up 12 home runs already, but apparently there's not a lot of guys in that basement he's giving them up because he's only given up 26 total earned runs. He's fine, but I do think this is the best we're going to see from Connerly early. I'm not saying like you should be selling him for anything you can get. If I would sell Zach Geloff for anything I can get, I think you should be taking advantage of the way that Connerly early has played so far and seeing if you can move it for somebody. And I think you might be able to because he's played really well, but I do think it's a little fool's goldy right now out of Connerly early.
One of our Discord members, do you remember this question? Was asking if he should trade early and Tolle. I think it was for Logan Gilbert.
So I like Tolle more than early. I do like Tolle more than early. Tolle's got his stats actually look more repeatable than what early's are for, what did you say, Logan Gilbert?
Yeah. And I just remember looking at it being like, Logan Gilbert really isn't pitching better than either one of those two. And the only reason why I think you make that deal is because you think both Early and Tolle are going to have innings limits and like they'll be shut down at the end of the year, which is possible with how bad the Red Sox are. Like they may not push these guys. But I was like, man, I unless you think Gilbert's just going to like blow the roof off the rest of the season, I don't know if that's worth it for you. Both of those guys are pitching really well right now.
Yeah.
I do think there's going to be a limit to Connerly early too, by the way, just so you know. Like the projection, I mean, the projection thinks it too. So like you talked about, we'll talk about that in a second with the next guy too, but that's possible too. Logan Gilbert's been okay, but kind of like mid relative to our expectations. It's not been This has not been terrible, but he has also not been awesome. And so I don't know if I want to do that necessarily.
I thought like both of those guys for Gilbert was a lot. Like maybe like Tolle and somebody else maybe not as good as Early. It's like that's fine, but both of those guys who right now, if you just like, and this was a few weeks ago when they were actually had better stats, but it was like putting those two together for one guy, like that didn't make sense.
I would instantly offer Connerly early for Reid Detmers if he has a bad start. I'll say that. Instantly offer that. That one I think you could pull off too.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, people looking at the ratios going, no, I don't want to deal with this anymore. It blows up my stuff.
Yep.
I get it. All right, last one here. This is a juicy one. I like this.
So he's been great. I mean, reliever, starter. I can't say a whole lot about Brent Brown and just say like, oh, he's got this going on. The stats look awesome. It is all fully supported too by all of the underlying data shows that maybe it's not quite a 174 ERA, but his FIP's 225. Like that's really good. 224 there. He gets strikeouts. My concern with Ben Brown is we just talked about the Cubs, right? Let's say they start to slip just a little bit more, or the Pirates pull ahead, the Cardinals maintain, the Brewers pull ahead of them. How much are we pushing Ben Brown here, right? Because last season he had 117 innings between the majors and the minors. Okay, so maybe we get it to 130, right? Something like that. Maybe you go to 130. That's we're in June 11th here, so maybe before the All-Star break he makes 4 more starts. They each cover 5 innings or 6 innings for easiness. We're at about 80 innings. Do you get I just think that Ben Brown is going. They've already had him in the bullpen. If they're not in it, or if people start coming back, just to be careful with the. How old is Ben Brown? He is not old at all. He is.
No, he's younger.
26.
26. That's actually older than I thought he was. But I just don't think they're going to push his innings to where, that 92 rest of season projection. I usually love the projection stuff just to base it off of. I don't think he's hit 92 innings. I'd be pretty shocked if he hit 92 innings. I would take that more like 75-ish innings. And because of that, I just don't think the strikeouts are going to be there. I think he'll be great for the innings you get out of him, but I don't expect to have Ben Brown going 5-6 innings when I need him at the end of the season to be doing that for me, to push me towards wins and things like that. I think they'll either move him to the bullpen or they'll do the. Have you noticed that the Pirates, since Jared Jones has been back, of the other night, I think he was at 60-ish pitches through 5 innings. They're like, yep, nope, you're out. We're done. No more Jared Jones out here, even though we had not done anything bad. So I just think that's what we're going to start getting out of Ben Brown here, some real short starts going forward.
Yeah. I mean, I could definitely see it.
Trying to see.
That is tough. I've been riding Ben Brown for quite a while, and where did you get these stats from? These don't look right. I've got him at 83 innings pitched the rest of the way.
Oh, did I get the wrong projection?
I did just update these yesterday, so I don't know if you got them early. Because his ERA, the rest is 3.84.
I could have grabbed them too early then.
87 strikeouts. Yeah, it might have been a earlier or something on that before it got updated. But that's possible.
Yeah.
So that would be more in line with what you were thinking, like 80 innings.
Mm-hmm. So I'm not saying sell Brown for anything, but another one. I am a little concerned. I'll say that going forward.
This is a dilemma with fantasy baseball all the time with these young pitchers, and it's one of those things where it's like, okay, do you trade him off for maybe a slightly lesser pitcher who you think is going to get you to the end of the season, or do you just ride Ben Brown until they say go away, go rest, go to the bullpen, and then he's not usable for you, and then at that point, there's other guys who get called up and maybe they catch fire. It happens every year, right? At the end of the year, there's always these pitchers who just kind of come out of the woodwork and they're, they were nobodies, or they get called up and then they're really good. And so you can sort of piecemeal a better pitcher together than the one you would have traded for because you were worried about innings limits. Mm-hmm. Ben Brown's been so good. I think he's more valuable, in my opinion, staying on your team than getting rid of him. Just take all the great stats he's got to give you.
Sure.
Yeah.
So
you can do that too.
All right. Well, that is it for the Week 12 Fantasy Six Pack, our Fantasy Baseball podcast. If you're still here, hit that subscribe button, leave those 5-star reviews, leave the comments, and thank you for tuning in to all of our Fantasy Baseball shows this year. We are taking next week off and then transitioning into our fantasy football content, and that will ride us through the rest of the 2026 calendar season, or year, whatever, season, whatever. I'm tired. So, but yeah, if you still want fantasy baseball content, Corey and I have you covered daily. It will not be on YouTube. It will only be on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you want to listen to podcasts. It will be there every Monday through Friday. We do a 20-ish minute, sometimes a little bit longer show of just kind of breaking down interesting tidbits from the day before, news and injury updates. We do a FanDuel bet of the day, and then we cover a rotational topic, which is somewhere it's like waivers and drops and risers and fallers and trade targets, and Corey covers pitching stuff. And is there another one that I'm missing? I don't know.
Bullpen.
But
I do the bullpen.
There's always something different.
That's a fun one.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's a fun one.
And then Yeah, and if you have anything you want us to cover in that, let us know in the comments as well. We would love to change it up if you guys are looking for something a little different. So, with that said, we will call it a night and see you in a couple of weeks. Peace.